Please may I ask you to be all upstanding for the bride and groom, Gavin and Bex.
You stay sat down.
Gavin and Bex. Thank you,
Right, you're going to push me.
You got it, Gav?
Yeah.
Shout when.
Yeah.
When? Ready? Quick, pull it back.
Ladies and gentlemen, at this very special time of the day, we've reached a time where a few esteemed guests would like to share a few special words with us. If I may, I'd like to introduce the bride of the... Sorry, the father of the bride.
Thank you. You'll have to bear with me today because I have to read from paper. For those of you like me old enough, you know that our idea of getting lucky is going into the next room and remembering what we went into the room for, yeah? First of all, to all guests, every one of you, thank you so much for coming today. Thank you for sharing this very special occasion with Gavin and Rebecca. How gorgeous you all look. How much effort have you all gone to with your makeup and beautiful dresses? And to the women. Sorry, I just put that wasn't on it. No, you all look absolutely brilliant. You look splendid. So thank you very much for making such an effort. Another one of my jobs is to thank the venue. I don't think they're here at the moment. Thank the venue, thank the suppliers for everything that they've done. They've done a fantastic job. I think you'll agree. Also like to thank everybody who has contributed in any way. Those who have contributed financially, those who have contributed organisationally, which there's been a lot of organisation done, and especially those who've given all their fantastic moral support to both Becky and Gavin. Thank you ever so much.
Please talk to me.
And now to Gavin's mum and dad. Firstly, thank you so much for providing Gavin today.
Yes, thank you.
It was a pleasure. The OG.
I guess my vote.
Is that what you meant, Mr. Fritz?
Well done, 10 or later. And on behalf of Beck, I would like to say thank you so much to yourselves and to all your family for doing such a fantastic job of welcoming my beautiful daughter into your family. Thank you. To Gavin, thank you very much for turning up today. That's a big bonus. Thank you.
Never want to shy away from a challenge.
I got one.
And I'd also like to welcome Gav into our ever-expanding families. And that does include the Proberts, the Colliers and the Lewises. So welcome from on behalf of all of them. Finally to Beck, I think it goes without saying that I've always thought that my daughter was the beautifulest thing on earth, and I think today she has proved it. I think you'll agree with me, she looks absolutely stunning. I think she's done an absolutely amazing job of organising just about most of today. Sorry, Gav. Yeah. And the amount of work she's done for all these knickknacks that you see around her, she has spent hours and hours and hours just nagging me and showing me it all. Amazing job. And I would like to say how proud both your mum and I are of you. I think all those years ago when you were born, we never thought that you'd turn out like this, and we're ever so proud of you. So we love you. There are 4 people who unfortunately aren't with us today, who Becky would have absolutely loved if they could have been here. That's her Nana Verla, her Grandad Jimmy, Grandad Derek, and of course Nana Hazel. I think those 2 would have been ever so proud of you, Beck, and they would have loved Gav.
Yeah. Definitely.
So, for them and on behalf of them, and for all the others who, for whatever reason, couldn't make it today, I'd like you all to please be upstanding for the first toast of the day. And this is to absent friends and family. Oh, it's quite nice.
Have another one.
Thank you, you can all sit now. I'm not finished. Rachel, pterodactyl. So the day Beck was born was definitely one of the proudest days of my life. There's been a few, but that was definitely on top there. She was fun-loving, she was stunningly beautiful like she is now. When she was a toddler growing up, she was very popular, well-mannered, kind-hearted, high-spirited, vivacious, and extremely welcoming and warm-hearted. Everybody absolutely loved Beck. And then she turned 13. Sorry, I'll do that again. Oh, stop! Let me just turn it up. That didn't work, did it?
Laura.
I am not your slave.
And this is my favourite. I love this one. So at this stage, Beck's mum and I really didn't know what was going on. This beautiful, gorgeous baby of ours had turned into some freak monster. But fortunately, we had Laura's parents. Laura, there's Laura. We had Laura's parents just across the road, and we went to them and said, "What is going on? What's happening?" And they said, "We know it's happening to our Laura as well. It's horrible." We were home one day and we saw Laura coming over to knock for Beck. And we thought, oh my goodness, what's coming now? Knocked on the door. Laura comes in and says, That's crap. I'm not using that again. That was, hello, Miss Patterson. Hello, Mrs. Patterson. The one who's really miserable to the parents, but nice to other parents. Yeah.
You're better doing it on the present.
Yeah, absolutely. So despite all this, the teenage Beck loved going back up north to spend time with her northern family. Days out with Nana Verla and Grandad Jimmy.
Yeah.
Holidays in the caravan with Nana Hazel, Grandad Derek, Tom and Jerry. Visiting all her aunties and uncles on both sides of the family. But especially spending time with all her cousins. Scott, Anthony, Alex, Ainsley, Abby, Lydia, Thomas, Callum, and of course Rachel, Jeff, Jenny, Jack, Harry, and the triplets. She absolutely loved it. Lots of memories growing up, especially the giggling. She loved to giggle, all the time giggling. I'm just going to share 2 memories with you.
Oh, God.
Firstly, in a Haven holiday, we took Rachel. And every night they'd come in. They were getting on a bit in their teenage years, so they were out, and they'd come in, they'd giggle. And then they'd go out, and then they'd come back in, and they'd giggle again. And then in the morning, they'd wake up, and they'd be giggling again. And this went on for the whole week, and I said, right, I need to know, what on earth is going on? So finally I got out. I couldn't get out of rage, but I got out of bed. And what they've been doing is they've been coming in, getting some bread, putting bread on next door's caravan, on top of it. So at daft o'clock when the sun came up, all the seagulls would go on their caravan and have a rave on top of the caravan.
That was Rachel, not me.
Thank you, Rachel. There's another great one with Ainsley. Sorry, Ainsley. So we're on holiday again, this time with Jimmy and Verla.
Oh, no.
And Ainsley came along with us this time. Again, the giggling. All we got was giggling, every day giggling. Giggle, giggle, giggle. But there was this one time we went for a meal with Nana Verla and Grandad Jimmy. Fantastic meal, we were all enjoying it. And they were giggling away and giggling away. And all of a sudden these giggles got louder and louder and louder. And we were like, what? Anyway, I clocked it. They were looking at the dessert menu, giggling away at the dessert menu. And I'm like, bread and butter pudding? No. Apple pie? No. Jam roly-poly? No. Rice pudding? What's funny about rice pudding? And then I clocked it. Spotted dick. But that wasn't the funniest bit. The funniest bit is, we were all saying, well, what's that? And I'd clocked it, so I knew what they were laughing at. Nana Verla, bless her, she hadn't got a clue what they were laughing at. So I tried to explain, bless Nana Verla, lovely, lovely, lovely. And I said to her, I said, they're laughing at the dessert menu. And I was giggling away, and I thought, she must have got it by now. Nana Verla looks at the, she's looking down at it. And she said, what, bread and butter pudding?
What was it? What is it?
Another pterodactyl. And then, as she grew up, of course, Connor came along. And Connor, of course, was just like Beck. Fun-loving, extremely popular, well-mannered, kind-hearted, high-spirited, and brilliant with all the kids. And then one day I went round to Beck's, and guess who was back?
My son!
did I love that day.
Yeah, no sympathy whatsoever.
So Beck said one day, she said, how long does it last, Dad? And he was only about 11. He said, how long does it last? I said, you were about 32.
That's so unfair.
I like that. So of course it gets a bit older, and as a parent, all parents know this, when the kids, we always worry. We never worried when we were the ones bringing our partners home, but we all now worry about who they're going to bring home. Most definitely. So I'm thinking, she said, oh, I've got a new boyfriend. Nice, can't wait to meet him. And I got thinking, I thought, what if he's Welsh? I thought, no, don't worry. He'll be fine. What if he's Irish? No, it'll be fine. I thought, oh no, Beck. Beck, please. Please, Beck. Not Southerner, please. Well, blimey is more northern than us.
Keep going, Dave.
Can't have left me fly undone. So the first introduction came, and Beck was bringing Gav round, and I was so excited to meet Gav. Knock on the door went. Now, for those of you who've seen something about Mary, you know when Cameron Diaz says to Ben Stiller, he says, is that hair gel? Well, I got one of those moments when Gav was there, Beck was there, and Gav was behind, and I was like, is that Mike Myers? Sorry.
Yeah, baby.
And if you don't know what I mean, just Google later. Just Google Mike Myers and it'll come up. Did you mean Gav McGee? They say that kids choose a partner like their parents. Well, Beck, fortunately, Gav's much better than I am. But Beck did bring home an absolute replica of Uncle Jeff. Both good looking. Both enjoy the odd tipple. I think you'll agree. Both incredibly funny after a few drinks. Both can keep their partners in check. Which with Auntie Susan and Beck, that's some doing. But the most important for both of them, I can't understand a bloody word either one is saying. But I think you'll all agree, Gavin is such a wonderful person for Beck. Most definitely. They are undoubtedly the perfect couple. And I realised this the other day. When I was writing this speech, I realised they are the perfect couple. I think if we'd left the wedding organising just solely up to Beck, then I think we'd all have had to take out a second mortgage just to pay for the bloody thing. But if it was up to Gav, the only thing you would see on your table today is a knife and fork. Because they're functional, aren't they, Gav?
Functional.
Exactly.
I don't have to hear that word anymore.
Functional. But before, you'll be glad to know I'm taking a seat in a second. So, but before I do, I have one last task, which is both my honour and my privilege. Ladies and gentlemen, please be upstanding and join with me in wishing the newlyweds a long, healthy and very happy future together. Here, hold on. Hey, quit it. Get a room. Here's to the past for all that you have learnt. Here is to the present for all that you share. And here is to the future for all that you have got to look forward to. A successful marriage is not about finding a person you can live with, but with finding one that you can't live without. To Beck and Gav. Push it up. Push it up to the top, yeah. Sorry.
That was so amazing.
Good luck.
Oh, what's your church turned on?
Jesus, my skirt went right up.
Where's the church your time now?
For a few words from a man to a man who'd give Jonah Lomu a good run for his money. Come on.
I did have a speech planned, it was on my phone, and I've wiped it off, so I'm balling it, yeah? Right? Literally half hour before we started the ceremony. I'm going to keep it short and sweet, and all of you know how much I love Mum and Gav and the whole family. You know, we love you all. But I just want to say thank you to both of you for everything you've done for me. I've gone through a lot recently, with mental health, dad issues. But I'm looking at my dad right now and I think I'm alright with him. All of us have known Gav for 10, 11 years, and without a doubt, with all the tipples that I've had with him, all the arguments, I've never once not called you my dad. No. So, and Mum, you look beautiful, as always. Yeah. Gav, you look average, you could have done a bit better, mate, but... well. But yeah, honestly, I think everyone here can agree that you two are amazing together, and everyone here and me wishes you the best in the future. Yeah.
Big hug.
I love you.
I love you.
I love you too. Good boy. That's all. Well, I'm going to sit back down.
Well done, City.
Thank you. Thank you.
Now it's time for the main man of the day. My brother from another mother for more than 30 years. A man who requires no introduction. It's the Gavlar.
Thank you, John. On behalf of my wife and I'd echo Dave's thoughts. I'd like to thank all of our guests, family, friends, loved ones, even Uncle Jeff. Yeah, who had 7:15 when he started acting like a pillock in the... Yeah. No, I'm only joking, Jeff. You're very welcome. You're very, very welcome. And remember that time that you sat me down on the ground and so, you know, I know people. Yeah. Well, I'm here. I'd also like to thank all the staff at Ellenborough Park who have done an amazing job today looking after us. In particular, I'd like to, handpick Donna, our florist, who's done an absolutely amazing job, done a stellar job with all the decorations. Ruffles, and Dave, who are recording our day. Make sure you get my good side. Did you just pan down to her? Stop it. Right. The band. Oh, Jets Duo. Yeah? I mean, to be quite frank, they're no Green Onions, they're no Blues Brothers tribute band, but they were pretty good, I thought. I thought they were pretty good, yeah. I'd like to thank the parents for all the support. Dave Probert, David Lewis, Shirley, aka Mutti 2.0. You have collectively nurtured, loved, and raised an amazing woman. And as a result, given me the greatest gift that any man could ever receive. So thank you. This is when Jeff points out that I'm looking like Mike Myers saying, I promised myself I wouldn't cry. I should also thank my parents, because you raised the hunk that landed her. Yeah, baby. I'd like to thank my beautiful sisters, Leona and Sinead. Your words were so touching, so wonderful that you could share our celebration together today, and so much of the support that you've given me, and particularly Bex in the run-up to the wedding, and the little mini hen do the other day, which Bex absolutely adored. So thank you so much. I have to praise the bridal party and the groomsmen for all looking so beautiful and handsome. Girls, I'm sure all of us would agree that the ladies today look absolutely gorgeous. I want to thank them all for the support that they've given Bex in the run-up over the last 4 years, and that's how it's been, and today in the run-up to the wedding. So thank you so much, girls. And of course, I'm a modern guy. In these days of gender neutrality and equality, I put all the lads in skirts as well. Only joking. I'm sure you'd agree they all look fantastic. And I'd like to thank them all for their support as well today and in the run-up to the wedding. And to Cameron, my best brother, my best man in the world. Yeah. Remember how nice I was to you, Cam? Yeah? A little point of etiquette about the kilts, okay, and what's underneath it. It's perfectly okay to ask any of us. It's perfectly okay for us to prove that we are doing the true Scotsman. But there are rules. If you ask for proof and the gentleman is wearing pants, then he is obliged to buy you a drink. If, however, he is sporting this true Scotsman, then you are obliged to buy his drinks all night. So you make the judgment. It's entirely up to you. So thanks to guests, parents, staff, bridesmaids, groomsmen. There was someone else. Who was that? Bex! Yes. Lastly, but no, by no means least. My beautiful wife. Honey, you've got a lot of beautiful curves, but my favourite is your smile. Thanks, Jeff. Thanks. And for those of you that know our history, Bex and I became close friends first, and then our relationship gradually grew from friendship to romance to love. And it occurred to me as I was writing the speech that I never really had the opportunity, because of the way that our relationship kind of formed, to chat you up. So I prepared a few lines that I could have used if we'd met under different circumstances, and I thought I would see if any of these would tickle your fancy. Right, ready? Is your name Google? Because you got everything I'm searching for, baby. What does it feel like to be the most gorgeous girl in the room?
Great.
If I had a quid for every time I saw someone as beautiful as you, I'd only have a quid. In my opinion, there are three kinds of beautiful: cute, pretty, and sexy. Somehow, you managed to be all three. Excuse me, do you have the time? I just want to remember the exact moment I fell in love. You're giving me that. Like, I think it's fair to say that I'm glad that we started out as friends, because with this kind of material, I wouldn't have landed it. So, before I ask you to stand and toast my darling wife, I want to take a moment to tell you just how important you are to me. Not only me, everyone. You mean so much to so many, especially me. So, I've prepared a little song.
Oh, no, you've not.
I have.
No, you haven't.
No. Got the first word wrong. I always think about myself, you know. Let me just... Rachel, you ready? You're a friend. You drive me round the bend. You are everything. You'll always be my. Hey! You are everything. From the moment that I wake up till the moment I'm asleep. You make me smile, you make me laugh, you make this old heart leap. And you know I'm speaking truly, 'cause everyone agrees you are everything. All together now. You're a friend. You drive me round the bend. You are everything. You're a sister. You're a mother. You'll always be my lover. You are everything. So today I'll make a promise till the day I disappear. I'll always take great care of you and always say, yes, dear. She's the cream that's in my coffee, the tonic in my gin. She is everything. Ladies and gentlemen, be upstanding. Raise a glass to my beautiful bride, Mrs. Bex McGee.
It's so cool.
Awesome, man. Well done.
Thank you.
Well done, darling. That was lovely.
Thank you.
Okay, so now to wrap up proceedings, anybody with rib injuries or weak bladders, you're advised to leave the room. Gird your loins and prepare yourselves to be knocked out by the best man, Cams.
Thank you. Oh.
Alan, yeah, it's working. Is that working, Alan? Yeah. Okay. Thanks very much, Matt. Gav, just before I start, thank you so much for giving your new wife such a lovely, tender, heartwarming speech and a song. It was a pleasure to listen to it. And thanks very much for making me follow it. So, good afternoon, everyone. For those of you that don't know me, I'm Cameron, Gavin's belittled brother. Little brother. Now, growing up with Gav, or the Golden Son, as he's known by as well, having Gav as my older brother had some advantages. I got to learn from his mistakes, refine his excuses, and I was able to avoid some truly horrendous haircuts. Something, as you can see, still holds true today. Now, I asked Gav for some advice for the speech today. Now, Gav, as you may know, has had a little bit of experience of public speaking. His advice was simply this: stand up, speak up, and then shut up. So I'll do my best to follow that today. Now, it's great to be here in Cheltenham today. Although as someone who lives in Fife, so that's the east part of Scotland, I'm finding the temperature a little bit hot. But getting acclimatised at this level of heat is pretty good, because I'm planning to have my summer holidays this year on the surface of the sun. So, now Gav, when Gav proposed to Bex, he did so during a family Christmas holiday. We were in Mum and Dad's house a few days after Christmas, having some drinks and nibbles. Now, Gav's timing was impeccable, because he took Bex completely by surprise and got down on one knee, proposing to her 2 seconds after she'd taken a giant bite of cheese and crackers. I think Bec's exact words were, so it was a cheesy proposal in more ways than one. Now, I'm sure you remember, but the date of that proposal was the 27th of December, 2017. 4 years, 3 months, and 22 days ago. Now, I know you wanted to delay the inevitable bar bill, Gav, but you didn't have to go so far as to orchestrate a global pandemic, so... To be fair, the delay gave you and Bex enough time to prepare the spreadsheet that details every last second of this wedding, down to the... So, I'll try not to overrun my 6 minutes, 45 seconds, Bex. I probably will, though. Now, not long after the cheese proposal, Gavin asked me to be his best man, and naturally it was an honour, and I said I would be delighted. And I was determined to do a good job. That is the last cheese pun, I promise. And pause for laughter. Okay. Thank you. Now, I think it says a lot about a man who chooses his brother to be best man. It reflects our shared history, a closeness that we forged from years of living together, the advice given and received while navigating the challenges of growing up together. Of course, the main thing it says is, I have no friends. Seriously though, folks, Gav, you're my brother and my friend, and I'm really happy and proud to be up here today. Now, Gav has covered most of the thanks in his speech, but I just wanted to add a couple more. It's a rare chance to pay tribute to some really special people indeed. So let's hear it for the bar staff. So Gav, a man of many names. Gav, Gavlar, Guggs, Gabrovsky, Gavinsky, Gamwin, Git. And of course to you, Bex, Schmiegler. What can I say? Let's go back to the beginning. The date was the 9th of August 1976. The place was RAF Vegberg. Now, unfortunately, forceps were needed during the birth, and Gavin's collarbone was broken as he was being born. And he's been breaking hearts ever since. A very independent young boy. He once, at age 5, decided he'd had enough of school, walked straight out the front door of Langham Primary School, right down the town centre, and walked all the way home. Later, his teacher, Mrs. Calvert, told him that boy will go far. And she was right. Now, as an older brother, he bought me great movies, video games, and music, introducing me at a young age to Def Leppard, Metallica, Rage Against the Machine. But most importantly, he made sure I was toughened up for life, as part of the regular beatings he would give me in the train game. Remember the train game? Now, to give some context, the train game is a game we made up. It basically starts with a full-on, no-holds-barred punch-up, and it culminates in the victor holding the other person's head on the imaginary train line, ready to be decapitated. Good old-fashioned, harmless, brotherly fun. Now, Gav, being bigger and stronger, always seemed to win these games, but amazingly, I won the last game that we played last night at the Cheltenham Premier Inn. Now, but I was also often the beneficiary of Gav's natural viciousness and the protective nature he has for his family. On the school bus one day coming home, a kid behind me was trying to annoy me and give me a wet willy. You know, that's when, yeah, you lick your finger, you put it in the air. Now Gav saw this, and he strode down the bus, long before Will Smith made this popular, I may add, smacked him in the head and said, "Keep your finger out of my brother's ear." He sorted it out for me. On another occasion, Leona, Gav and me were playing basketball on the summer holidays. Gav was about 12 or 13. As we were playing, a gang of local kids kicked our ball away into the bushes. No, big mistake. What I like to call the inner Glaswegian was unleashed. Gav strode up to them without hesitation. What's the script either?
What?
The leader emerged. And without hesitation, Gavin got him in a headlock, started punching him in the stomach, until some French guy pulled us apart. So that just shows Gav will go to extreme lengths to protect his family. Now, one final memory was the time of the fall of the Berlin Wall. Now we were there. Mum, Dad, Leona, Gav, and myself. So young Gavin was present to witness a pivotal point in history where the door to freedom was flung open for the East, and it marked the beginning of the end of the Cold War. How did a young 13-year-old Gavin mark this historic occasion? On part of a wall that was still stood, he wrote, "For a good time, call 80268. As we would say in Scotland, "Ye wee naff." No calls. Now, as Gav got a little bit older and started dating girls, I still remember Gav's first girlfriend. Very much in love. Spent every day together, almost inseparable. But sadly, it wasn't to last, because one day he overinflated her. Now, I just want to go over some of Gav's qualities. Confidence, a very confident young man. Dad once gave him a lift to a job interview, and when he came back, he asked Gavin, "How did it go?" Gav's response was simply, "It's in the bag." And it was. He's now thriving, working as an investment consultant, and I regularly ask him for advice myself. I did get a bit confused the other day when he asked me what was my net worth. I told him I didn't own a net. But he does enjoy his work, and he's been involved in some really interesting areas over the years. He recently advised a client who was considering opening a distillery. But on balance, Gav thought that was a whiskey investment, so... The next is organisation. Now, Gav's a very organised person. He loves his logistics pack. As you can see, it's behind him, I think, at the minute. I think I've been to more Zoom meetings for the organisation of his wedding than I go to for work, but that maybe says something about me as well. Now, Gavin even has an itinerary for the wedding night, Bex. I've seen it, and I have to say, I think you're in for a treat. My only thought, Gav, was I think you might have overestimated a few of the timings. Okay. Helpful. He's always helping others. Whether it's doing me a favour when we were young, telling me that the bottom part of the ice lolly, where it touched the stick, was, and I quote, "poison." And he was eating it for me because he could handle it. He got away with that till I was 27. Whether it was advising his cousin at age 8, sticking at school after the teacher for extra homework, something he singularly failed to do himself. Or whether it was helping out his friends who'd do anything for. A young Matt who helped remove his earring once. Now, Matt didn't want it removed, but Gav held him down, nevertheless, and ripped it out. So, quick and painless, or painful, Matt. Now, I did a wee bit of research for this speech, and according to according to my wife Sinead, who Googled this for me, number one when Gav was born was "Don't Go Breaking My Heart" by Elton John and Kiki D. Now, I'm sure he'd never do that, Bex, but it might already be too late. He's just got the final wedding bill. So. Number one, when you were born, Bex, was Everything I Own by Boy George, which I thought was rather apt. Because now you're married, everything you own, Gav, is hers, and everything she owns is still hers. Now, I managed to get the copy of the CD for you, Bex. I'll give it to you later. Gav, you might need to source it yourself, but I can put you in touch with some antiques dealers who are experts in buying them. Now, when I first met Bex, I discovered she's kind, intelligent, funny, obviously beautiful. Now, I wasn't surprised by this, because I'd heard good things about her from Gavin. And also, opposites attract, don't they? But Gav, you once told me you wished you could have met Bex when you were 18, but it's a good job you didn't, because she was only 7 at the time. That would have been a whole different story. Now later on this year, Sinead and I will be celebrating our 13-year wedding anniversary. I'm looking for some. And so I thought I'd like to offer some advice myself. Right, remember that, Gav, when you're right, you'll never be right, even when you are right. Marriage is like a deck of cards. In the beginning, all you need is 2 hearts and a diamond. After 13 years, you'll wish you just had a club and a spade. Now, family. They say family is not an important thing. It's everything. And it's been great meeting your family, Bex. Your parents, your cousins, your aunties, your uncles, everyone in this room. It's been fantastic. So on behalf of the McGees, I want to welcome you, Bex, to the family formally, because you know you've been part of the family for a long time already, don't you? Yeah. Talking of family, I have a wee card here I'd like to read from my mum and dad, Jim and Leonora. To our dearest Gavin and Bex, on this your wedding day, we welcome Bex to the McGee family, from friend to girlfriend to fiancée to future daughter-in-law, and finally wife and daughter-in-law. Congratulations and wishing you happiness today and always. Love, Mum and Dad. Now, my only wish for you, Bex and Gavin, as you start your married lives together, is that each day of your marriage is better than the last. Every day get better and better, so that you can look back on today, your wedding day, and say it was the worst day of your lives. Now, Gavin, I've been jesting a wee bit, but I feel really lucky to be your brother. You're the first person I call to for advice when Dad doesn't pick up. You make me laugh a lot, and we often have hours-long conversations about nothing at all. Sinead and Bex can ask what you were talking about, and we have no idea. And long may it continue. And Bex, I know you've been learning your prunes, so I'm sure you'll know what I mean when I say, you're both looking right bra. I'm fair put to be up here and lang me your lumbrick. Don't worry, guys, you can Google it later on. But as my speech comes to a close, I just want to wish you both a lifetime of happiness, health, and love. And it only leaves me to ask you all to stand, raise your glasses in a toast. To Bex and Gavin, the bride and groom.